Do you take care of training yourself in FM23 or do you leave it up to your assistant? Well, today I will be giving you my training routines for FM23 so you can take that power back and develop the players better yourself. I will be talking about my routine so that you can get the best out of your youth players, but also have your first team squad fighting fit with this training program. So without any further ado, let's dive in. Here is my training routine. We've got it all set up for Dortmund, but I'm going to talk to you about stuff in detail in just a little bit. But this section, as it looks, if you go into the calendar for your training, it can be super overwhelming. There's a lot of going on. There's a lot of different colors. There's a lot of boxes going on. But I'm going to talk to you about the routines one by one. So you get these custom routines on your schedules here. Obviously, you've got all of the ones that you can take a look at here, but I'll be providing you guys with the custom schedules. So first of all, we talk about preseason. This is, for me, is very, very important. You need to get a good preseason, especially if you're trying a new tactic, guys. Preseason is hugely important. So this is my preseason routine. I do this every week. I set it up for the entire preseason, regardless of where the games fall in preseason. It doesn't really matter if you're doing them week from week. I will try and stagger my preseason games. So one week have a Wednesday, Saturday, and the following week have like a Tuesday, Friday and stuff like that, just to balance it around a bit. But it doesn't matter if a game goes in and changes your schedule around. But obviously we've got the balance here. We've got the sort of physical side of stuff. We've got the endurance training. We've got the quickness training. We've got the resistance training. But we're not just talking about that. We're talking about stuff as a team as well. New signings need to learn each other and learn where they're going to be. So this is why we've got the middle section all set up to basically do the fundamental part of football. Now, obviously, we've got tactical stuff here, we've got physical stuff here, we've got possession-based stuff, attacking, defending, pretty self-explanatory. We're also working on ball retention as well, but some of the other stuff that I like my teams to work on, we have the attacking corners here and chance creation. These are big ones for me this year, guys, especially the chance creation, because I think is huge. Like your team actually are able to pick out the runs of good players now with this new improved match engine in FM23, and also chucking a team bonding as well. It's always really nice for you guys to add in as well. We've also got a 1 game weeks cycle, which I will talk about now. It kind of has some of the other stuff. Now, I used to work in football myself, so I can kind of use some relation to what was actually done in football. So even if there was a game on a Saturday, we'll still do a relatively physical session on a Tuesday and then sort of taper off towards the end of the week. So that is kind of how I've set things up here. We're still working on the sort of set piece side of stuff. They are all the red ones. You can still see some of the other stuff that we are doing. We're still doing the chance conversion, the ball retention, transitioning in terms of press and chance conversion is quite key. Then we go into a Friday, which is the match tactics, again vitally important, a match preview, team bonding, and then the match on the Saturday, and then on the Sunday you've got the 2 recovery sessions, and then the match review. The match review is vitally important, guys, I will say, because it helps your team learn your tactic even better and get better in terms of that team cohesion. Having a good team dynamic is vitally important in FM. So this is the 1 week schedule. We also have a 2 week game schedule as well. So if you've got a midweek, like a Champions League or something like that, and you've got a game on a Tuesday or a game on a Wednesday, again, it doesn't really matter which. The system is dynamic. FM will work out where the best place to put some of these sessions are. So we have all of this stuff in here as well. Obviously, we've added in the match reviews, and we're trying to make sure everything is as good as humanly possible. Again, working on those set pieces, and defending from the front, I think, is a nice one to add in on these double game weeks as well, because you're going to want to start putting the pressure on your opposition as well. I've also got a schedule here, guys, for a week off during international breaks or something like that. Some of your players that may not be going to play for their country will still want to train. They will still want to do stuff. So I've added in a double match practice. So it's effectively like a 1 game week. So you're still having that match practice on a Saturday, but we're having some match practice on a Tuesday. Keeps the physical levels ticking over and keeps your team fresh, fit, and fighting, ready for the season. So now I'm sure you're wondering, Steve, how do I get these in my game? Well, we have the link down in the description, which will pull up the schedules. Once you have downloaded it from your downloads, head into your documents, guys, go into Sports Interactive, go into Football Manager 2023, and then you will need a schedules folder. If you don't have one, right click, create it, have a schedules folder, and then pop them in here. Obviously you can see my ones there. I'm working on a Wednesday and Sunday match fixture for you guys who do network games, so please stay active in our Discord server. The link will be down in the description. Once this is ready and it is the level that I've tested it enough, I will release it in Discord before I do any sort of video on it, so please do follow in the Discord for yourselves there. So paste the files into there, then you need to do the bit in game. So you go into your training tab on the left hand side, you go into your schedules tab here, then you go onto this drop down, go to custom schedules, then you need to import the schedule. So import the schedule that you want. I always do mine in order because I've got a little bit of OCD. So I do the preseason, then I do 1 game week, 2 game week, then the week off. Once that has loaded up, it will look, let me just do one here, it will look something like this. What I will recommend, guys, is you will need to do this, is you hit the save button in the bottom right corner of the screen for each individual routine, and then once you've done that, you can go back into the calendar and you can change them via this drop down here. So as you can see, I've got my 1 game week here. It is all set up for Borussia Mönchengladbach, but you go into the drop down and you go into the custom schedules, and then it brings up all of the custom schedules that you can see here. Obviously, this is a 1 game week, so we select 1 game week. Pretty self-explanatory. This first starting week of the season, it is a double game week, guys. So we have here set up, I need to change this to a 2 game week. And as you can see, the system recovers and it can kind of pinpoint where things need to go. So obviously the match reviews are still present in there as well. So hopefully you can take control of training yourself. So let's have a look and see how they work in terms of progressing youth prospects. Obviously Youssoufa Moukoko is an exceptional player in FM, but if we go and take a look at him, go into his development and go into his progress, you can see if we go on his all-time, he has been progressing quite nicely. In terms of his physicals, he's kind of nudged up a little bit. Jumping reach has gone down a little bit, slight overall improvement in his physicals, but he's had major improvements in both his mental and technical attributes. He's doing all the right stuff. He's getting his reps in his training, and obviously I don't know why the free kick taking has gone up by 6, but maybe that's just something Moukoko specific. And in terms of my first team, if we go and take a look, this is what it's all about. It's all about winning stuff on the pitch. This is currently after 4 seasons in the job at Dortmund. We finished inside 1st and 2nd in the Bundesliga. We've picked up a couple trophies as well. The Bundesliga in that first season, the DFL Super Cup, the DFL Pokal. We've also got the Super Cup and the Bundesliga as well. We're about to go into the 5th and final season. This rebuild video will be already out, so you guys can go and see how we get on in that 5th and final season. But hopefully these training routines will enable you to take the power back from the AI and get the minutes into your players and get them as sharp and as fit and as raring to go as possible. Because my first team, if we go in here, yes, okay, we've got a lot of players potential with injuries, but if we look at their overalls, they're feeling fresh. There's a low injury susceptibility. Their match load's heavy, but the team is feeling good, guys. We are fresh and ready to go, and we are not going to have as many injuries as your average team because everybody is looking good. Their conditioning is brilliant. Everybody's feeling fresh and ready to start that Bundesliga season. Hopefully you learned something today. If you did, drop a like on it down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are picking things up for the very first time. And until next time, guys, check out my other rebuilds, which you can check out right here on this playlist.